What's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be presenting 10 rappers who have ADHD or ADD. This video is something that you haven't seen on YouTube yet, and I'm very excited to bring it to you. If you want more of this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe, as well as join the Discord. We have a community growing right now, but I'm going to save that for later, so let's hop straight into the video. So, for those of you wondering what is ADHD, what is ADD, what sets you apart if you have ADHD? Well, let's start with ADD. ADD is an older term for what is now ADHD. ADD stands for Attention Deficit Disorder, while ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. Now, ADHD is one of the most common mental disorders affecting children all around the world, and symptoms of ADHD include inattention, which is the non-ability to focus, like you struggle with focusing, hyperactivity, which is excess movement in a setting, like you move too much in that setting, and impulsivity, doing things without understanding why you're doing them, just like doing it straight on that thought. Now, why is this an issue? Well, this is an issue as parents seem to put this on, doctors seem to put this on children who are extremely active, extremely volatile in their own movements. I totally understand that ADHD is a thing that is around, but it is something that is totally just focused around kids that can't focus, that won't sit down, that are too playful. Now, I don't want to put in any personal bias into ADHD. I understand people suffer from ADHD. It is a real thing, but that is exactly what it is. It's just kids that struggle to focus, struggle to sit in one place, that are extremely active. Yes, you can view that as a negative, but you can also view that as a benefit in some standpoint. Kids that are more active may be getting more physical activity than other kids that are not as active. They may be doing better in other activities, not the school subjects, but other activities than other kids. There are benefits, there are negatives with both sides. That is the duality of the universe. But the one thing that I'd like to point out is that there are medications that are diagnosed to kids with ADHD or ADD, as it was said. Now, these medications try to stimulate you by changing natural substances in your brain. Now, I'm not going to go into the science behind it because I personally don't understand the science behind it, because I don't have a degree in that type of standpoint. But what I would like to say is that there are medications that are prescribed to kids, and kids take these medications in order to be like other kids, in order to stop that creativity, in order to stop being so active. They take these, and then that's what really happens. So I'm going to be going into 10 rappers who defied the odds, who, even if they have ADHD and they've been told that they're too active, that they're too noisy, that they do too much, they've succeeded. So for those of you that also sit here on the other side of the screen and are like, hey, yo, these guys are like me, you can do it too, because we see people do it. So we know that they can do it. We know we can do it too. Keep that hope in you. Keep that hope alive. But without further ado, I'm going to get straight into the video. I'm going to break down the 10 rappers who do have ADHD. Let's go. First rapper who has ADHD, Joyner Lucas. Now, who is Joyner Lucas? Well, he's been around in the game for a while. He has a few different albums that he's put out, like 508, 507, 2209. He also has his own album called ADHD that had multiple songs that was released in an ADHD-like manner. What do I mean by that? Well, he designed an album, ADHD, that he spanned over a year and a half on the release date, where he started with different singles that he would drop, such as ADHD that he dropped in 2019, but the album ADHD dropping in 2020. Dropping these sporadically in order to give that constant stimulation of the drops, not just to have it in one place, just to constantly give you a single here, give you a single there. Now, did this work? Well, if you've heard of Joyner Lucas, this may have worked, but if you have not heard of him, it may not have worked. It's up to you to think what you think about Joyner Lucas, but what we do know about Joyner Lucas is he talks right here. When I was a kid, I was diagnosed with ADHD. They said I was aggressive, fidgety, hyperactive, impulsive. They tried to put me on meds. Everyone around me, including my own parents, made me feel like I wasn't normal. I had to constantly see a doctor, made me take tests and all that. You can see that as a kid right there. Joyner Lucas is being put out of society. He's already being shown that you're not like everyone else, bro. And that hurts a kid. When you're younger, that hurts you. You go through life and you constantly try to remind yourself that I'm not like everyone else. I don't deserve to have friends. I don't deserve the same opportunities as everyone else. Even though with ADHD, you can still do the same things that other people do. It may take you a little bit longer. It may take you other routes to do, but you can still do them. You can still get to that same route that other people take. And that's what Joyner Lucas also preaches throughout his music. And he tries to be there to say that I understand exactly what you are going through, because I go through it myself. Now here on ADHD, he says, my mind racing, I've been paranoid, overthinking, maybe that's a void. Don't call me up like I don't have a voice. I think I was born different. I ain't really have a choice. Class in session, you an hour late. Don't play with me, today is not the day. Pay attention, I am not deranged. I could tell you what I'm thinking, I just don't know how to say it. Even here, he's breaking down that, don't play with me, I don't feel like that today. They tell me to pay attention. I know I can pay attention. I'm not like someone who doesn't want to pay attention. I just can't pay attention right now. And it's that constant feeling that void inside of you, overthinking about different situations. There's so much that goes into it, and there's a lot of personal stuff that he puts into these songs. So if you resonate with it, make sure to check it out. The second artist who has ADHD is none other than XXXTentacion. Now we know that X is a rowdy person. In his concerts, you'd go to his concerts and it would be electric. His concerts would be the show. For those of you that haven't seen X's concert, he would do stuff like this. Jumping, hyping the crowd up, jumping around, and really bringing that energy. That energy is what made X's concerts different. And I always think too, like, how amazing it would be to go to an XXX concert. How amazing it would be to actually live up that energy. Unfortunately, we cannot feel that because he has passed away. But the energy is insane. Now, to go into his diagnosis, he said on this clip right here that he has ADHD.
Y'all better shout me the fuck out. He keeps on, because I got ADHD. Leave me alone.
Furthermore, in the recent X documentary that dropped, his mother also said that he had other things, such as bipolar disorder, that was diagnosed to him. Check out this clip to see exactly what I'm talking about.
When he was 13, we got him evaluated, and they told me that he was bipolar. They wanted me to put him on medication, and I refused because where I'm from, we don't label kids. And I don't really believe in, dosing kids up with drugs or anything like that. I would prefer going through counseling and trying to get to the root of the problem.
Now, how did this affect him? Well, this would make him more fast-paced. This would make him erratic. This would talk about why he struggled in school, why he was not a good fit for the academic system. Yes, it could be shown that he did not fit the overall scheme of what a student should be, but that doesn't hurt who he is. That doesn't make him different from anyone else. He still does the same things. He can still do the same things that other humans can do. He just does it at a different pace. And when through his music, he was able to inspire and invoke change in himself. He was able to invoke change and create such crazy communities. The X fan base is such a cult-like following that's different than any other artist. And if you're gonna tell me that a person with ADHD created this fan base, then you're damn right he did. Because he created a fan base that actually connects people and helps people change their lives. Next Monday on this YouTube channel, I'm gonna have one of the people that X changed lives on this channel. The Helping Hand Challenge, which X talked about back in 2018. One of the winners of that contest will be on this YouTube channel in an interview. And I'm really excited to bring that to you just to show you the difference that X actually made on people firsthand. So if you're interested in that, make sure to follow this account because that's going to be coming out next Monday and we have so much content on the way to grow you. So tap in. Now, the third artist that has ADHD or was diagnosed with ADHD is none other than Juice WRLD. Now, Juice WRLD in this clip right here talks about how he has ADHD and how he was diagnosed with it. Check it out.
Just not paying attention.
Right. They said you had ADD when you were younger.
Yeah, supposedly.
Mm-hmm. They put you on anything for it?
For sure.
Or Adderall?
You know they love putting little kids on that
Especially
shit. Especially
little black kids from the hood.
Of course.
Yeah.
They love doing that. You know they put me on that shit.
They do Adderall.
Look,
that's
that
crazy.
Started out with Folkland. I've been on all that Folkland. What's the Ritalin, Vyvanse, Adderall, all that shit.
Work. Now, looking around the internet about Juice WRLD, we know that he did die from an overdose and that he was addicted to drugs in his life. He used these as a coping mechanism for his own personal addictions and his own personal battles that he fought. Now, is this a good thing to do? Well, if we just analyze why he did it. In the interview, he does say that he was diagnosed with ADD as a young child. As I said, ADD is the same thing as ADHD. And maybe that is the main reason why he struggled with his addictions. Now, it's been shown that people who have ADD, ADHD, they're around like 10 times more likely to struggle with depression and anxiety, and 5 to 10 times more likely to struggle with substance abuse. Like ADD, ADHD, it can be a silent killer, and we're gonna keep examining that throughout this video. Now, potentially, these medications may be leading to crazy addictions that grow among this youth. And Juice WRLD's Reddit, people who actually follow Juice WRLD are agreeing to this, and they're talking about, hey, there may actually be something going on that actually came and stemmed from that ADHD that he was diagnosed with, and the addiction portion that does stem out of ADHD-like people. So that is something to examine further. Does the ADHD actually cause addiction? That is something that we should look into. Now, the fourth artist that I would like to bring up is none other than Tyler, the Creator. Now, Tyler, the Creator has ADD. He has talked about this publicly on his song Odd Toddlers, where he says, Stuzzy's G-Shock with my custom pair of 3D glasses. I suffer from ADHD. I should win a award for being me. Now Tyler has ADHD, and even at the end of this verse, he hesitates, linking that the ADHD causes attentional problems, as he tries to show that he just lost his train of thought, and that is something that people with ADHD struggle with, keeping your constant thought flow. Now, if we look at Tyler the Creator, he has been an extremely successful artist. He does have rolling loud leads, crazy concerts, and his albums influence people. They motivate people. People love Tyler the Creator's music. He clearly is a successful artist, even by being diagnosed with ADHD. So what does that say? That says continue chasing, continue growing. You know that people do it, people grow through this kind of stuff. Yes, you may look at it as a setback, but Tyler the Creator, he uses it as motivation. The fifth artist who has ADHD is Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi talks about having ADHD a little bit around the internet. It's been tough to find the exact outlets of it, but we do know that on his song, Just What I Am, featuring King Chip, he does talk about ADHD-like feelings. Especially the part where he says, "But they all didn't see a little bit of sadness in me, Scotty. I've got some issues that nobody can see, and all of these emotions are pouring out of me. I bring them to the light for you. It's only right. This is the soundtrack to my life, the soundtrack to my life." This line right here, talking about there's a little bit of sadness in me, that he's got issues that nobody can see, could be referring to ADHD, especially since he's talked about his other mental stuff that he deals with. This could easily line up with that, but it could also easily line up with ADHD or ADD. The emotions pouring out of him, the feeling that he's different, the feeling that he doesn't fit in with other people's circumstances. Even him talking about chasing his dreams, going after it, leaving his family behind, as he mentioned on his TED Talk, shows light that he may have ADHD. But even if he has ADHD, he can use it in order to make himself better and show other people that it's okay if you have ADHD. It's okay if you're a little bit different. We're all made different. We're not all made the same. We're not all made to be programmed to do one thing for the rest of our lives. We're all made in our own type of way. The sixth rapper who has ADHD is none other than popular rapper and movie star Will Smith. "Keep my wife's name out your mouth." Will Smith endured ADHD while growing up. According to Will Smith, he says, "I was a B student who should have been getting A's and encouraged parents to seek personal evaluation early on if their children exhibit signs and symptoms of ADHD. He stated that he couldn't finish a book, even if he was granted 2 weeks to do so." Now here it's kind of shown that what the limits truly are. Your attention. You can't sit down and do an activity such as reading a book, such as something that can change your life. You struggle with doing such like this. You act more spontaneously. You act more erratically. If erratic is the proper thing for the inconsistencies. But truly, Will Smith talks about this, and I've been doing my research on the internet. This is one of the only few things that does come up about Will Smith tagged with ADHD. And the reason that is because his statement shows how difficult it would have been for him as a child. Though he never got it diagnosed, it can be self-diagnosed. However, like most celebrities, Smith does not talk about ADHD. He doesn't actively talk about his ADHD, but we do know that he did bring it up. He does say that he has ADHD, even though he doesn't publicize, even though he doesn't do it. He may feel internally that it makes him different. It makes him feel some type of way that he's not supposed to be. But even looking at Will Smith, the accomplishments he's had, like his Fresh Prince of Bel-Air back in the 90s, and his acting career is phenomenal. Even though there's still the hiccups on the road, "Keep my wife's name," it's all okay, and it still grows you as a person. He's still the person that he is because of what that is. And he's been able to give his kids an amazing life, even if he has things that hold him back. The seventh rapper, and I'm gonna skip over this really quick, but the seventh rapper is Diddy. Diddy has ADHD. And I don't want to put Diddy on that list like that because of what recently came out about him and the recent allegations, but I would just like to say that Diddy is an artist that was influential, and he did bring people up in the industry, and he has been diagnosed with ADHD. According to this news article right here, the rapper Diddy opened up about struggling to focus in a 2018 Instagram video. He said, "Sometimes my brain can go in different directions. I may have to sit here and read this book 5 times. Where somebody else said, "Champ, that's called ADD or ADHD. Most creatives have it." Me too. LOL. So it's just talking about that Diddy is a creative person. He is someone that does make rap music. I'm not going to put my own personal opinion onto that. This is not the video for that. Though that's other content. This is just people who have ADHD. And Diddy does have ADHD as shown by this news article. Now let's skip over Diddy. The 8th rapper who has ADHD is none other than incarcerated YNW Melly. During an interview with Bootleg Kev and DJ Head on Wrld 92.3, in 2019, before he was incarcerated on that double homicide, Melly would reveal that he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and ADHD. Now I'll play the clip for you so you can see him say it firsthand and put your own personal opinion on it.
I mixed personality too, though. Like, damn, I relate. I really, like, I actually, like, relate to him. So I'm like, hell yeah.
Well, you're not diagnosed with bipolar or anything like that.
Yeah, I am. And,
Word.
So you are
and
bipolar.
ADHD.
Damn.
So when you were coming up, did they like put you on Ritalin and shit?
Hell yeah. When I got locked
That's
up the first time, a year straight.
So you was on like Addies and
12
shit?
months straight. Adderall, baby.
Now, Melly describes exactly what he was diagnosed with right there. We know that the bipolar stuff, he has his songs like mixed personalities, act different types of ways. We do know he's being charged with switching up on his two best friends in a double murder. I'm not going to say if he did or if he didn't. I know that's out in the trial still, so we'll see what the conviction comes out to be. But currently what we see it as is that he does have ADHD. And there was some news about letting him out during COVID because he has ADHD. And I don't know the true validity of that, but he is diagnosed with ADHD. That may personally play into how he makes his songs, how he puts his own personal soul into his songs and his own singing vibe within his songs. That's up to the person to interpret. And if he ever comes out again, maybe we'll hear more about his own personal experiences growing up, but it'll mostly probably be focused on his trial. Even being the creative force that he was in Florida, seeing that he was diagnosed with ADHD, the setback that he personally may have felt, and flying through that to be the person that he is, shows light to what it is. Now, the ninth artist I'd like to introduce who does have ADHD is Mac Miller. Mac Miller on this interview does say that he had ADD and he was diagnosed with that.
But I also have ADD and I be a different thing every single year, so who knows? You know what I mean? Like, next year I might be dark and mysterious. The year after that I might be, hey, you know what I mean? Like, who knows?
You really never know.
Right.
Now, we do know that Mac Miller's newest songs are a little bit more sad. They deal with addiction, and we do know that he did pass away due to overdose on a drug that he thought was someone else. Now, because of that, he dealt with an addiction. We know that. And overall, in the past, we examined Juice WRLD, who is also very similar to Mac Miller in the sense of the passing away. Mac Miller dealt with this, and Juice WRLD also dealt with this. This may have stemmed from the ADHD that they did have, and their constant need for stimulation. Now, in this sense right here, I don't want to say that Mac Miller died because he had ADHD, but what I do want to say is it's something we have to look into. It's something that we should examine further. It's something for the scientists to look into, the doctors to look into, for society to look into, if it actually has an impact on it. I feel bad for Mac Miller and all Mac Miller fans. I love his music. His music's great. It does give you that overall vibe. And I've read that a lot of people do have ADHD, do love his music, and they feel very therapeutic through it. So he may have been exemplifying his own ADHD and what he needed to hear through his music, through everyone else. And everyone else messes with that, so that's the good part. And the final artist who does have ADHD is, and I bet you didn't know this, A$AP Rocky. A$AP Rocky does have ADHD, and I found this out through this article right here where he said, my aesthetic for videos now are more everything at once, just more chaotic, organized chaos. I think it's a very nice way to display my ADHD, where they talked about on one video, he took psychedelic visuals. We do know that A$AP Rocky has been putting out his own personal creativity throughout his videos as other artists, but putting his own touch on it, putting his own ADHD into it, and what he wants to see through that and how he wants to be creative is cool to see. Also, on A$AP Rocky's album Live Love, I found this. The first sign of this is the album structure, which feels much more integrated than before. Live Love seemed to suffer from ADHD at times, being somewhat arbitrarily sprinkled with good 16 tracks, but Long Live has a coherence benefiting its status as Rocky's first album proper. Here they've been talking about how the album structure kind of has an ADHD vibe to it. And they're not saying that this is bad or this is good, they're just saying that it has this ADHD vibe to it, but a good 16 track list does set it apart from other things. So what are our conclusions with these 10 rappers that I've showed? Well, what we can see is they're no different than us. They dealt with their own things coming up. That, yeah, ADHD is something that may have held them back in their schools, but look at where they are right now. They are all names that we know. They are all people that are looked up upon in some standpoint. But it's cool just to look into this, to see that, yes, there are struggles with life, but it's not about the cards that you are dealt, it's about how you deal with the cards. If you mess with the message, if you mess with the overall content and the way that I produce the videos, make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, and reach out to me on Instagram. I'll get back to you if you reach out to me, I promise you. Also, join the Discord. I'm always active on there throughout the weeks. I love interacting with you. We got contests, we got giveaways going on where you can make money. I just like to give back to you guys. I like to give you back the same generosity that I get to me from all of you guys. So I love you. Thank you for watching these videos. It means a lot to me. I put my heart and soul into these videos. I want to make these as who I am and what I am like. So if you mess with these videos, thank you. I love you so much. Welcome to the Blue Vanity channel. Take care.